U2TV Post Game Report. We're here with the Hall of Fame coach. You got your 500th win today for Mekeel Christian Academy. Coach, you got your win against Toronto team. Talk to me about getting this win, reaching this milestone, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. My first thought initially, and most importantly, is I just love and am very grateful to Jesus for giving me health that allows me to coach this many years in this Mekeel community. Each one of these wins was with this team and with this school, which means a lot to me. So I'm just grateful to him for that and allowing me to have built so many awesome relationships with so many great kids, so many families here, wonderful coaches. That's the greatest. It's about relationships. We all love basketball. That's our common bond that allows us to pour into these kids. And then now we get to watch them go into life and graduate from college and get their degrees and then build families and give back to society and watch them grow in the Lord. And that's the most rewarding thing of what I've done here at Mekeel.
Awesome stuff there, Coach. Now, can you tell me your first win? Was 500, now go back to one. Do you even remember that win and how it felt?
I have no idea. Johnny Richmond was here. He was here in '93 as a sophomore, so he was on that team, a couple guys from that team. But I don't remember that win at all, no.
Yeah. All right, so we talk about the Toronto team, Kings Christian.
Yep.
They came a long ways here. They seem to be feisty in the beginning of that game. Talk to me about what you do, try to prepare for a team that you haven't seen. Talk to me about the whole process. Yeah,
difficult prep in the fact that we had one film, and all coaches know it's really dangerous to prep off of one film. A great player might have a bad night, vice versa. Eric does a great job with that program, and he's building at the point where they're becoming more and more competitive. 11's a very good player for them, their point guard. Hits an incredible amount of tough pull-ups. So the prep is a little bit limited than it would be for a team that you're more familiar with and you know. It's more about what we're trying to do, and it's only game 3, and we're really struggling with consistency. We're struggling on the defensive end. So there's a lot of things for us to clean up, but I have a great group of kids. I love this group of kids, and I think in 3 or 4 weeks we might be able to put some things together.
Now, I know it's your style. You let the kids play, let them go up and down, do their thing. But there's some situations where, you call a timeout, you want a particular play to go a particular way. I said to my partner, especially since I let them, do their thing in that fast break and all that, I think when I call a timeout, I want something to go my particular way. I want the play to be executed a certain way. Talk to me about, your demands of them at certain parts of the game.
Yeah. So, I'm with you on that. Our percentage on that was not at 100%. I'm coming out of a timeout. Our ATOs tonight were at times okay. And that's part of the process for a team that's getting to know each other. They're not kids that have been with us, for years and know how we play at Mekeel. Terrence is, but everyone else is new. And so there's a real learning curve that we're going through as a team in how we want to play and how do you get that discipline into your game. And so it's a process. We're at the beginning stages of it.
Talk to me about those 3 guys you got, like Taylor, Robinson, you mentioned him, and Anderson. Talk to me about those 3 guys real quick.
Yeah, we get kids that are really that love basketball. They are coachable. They're good players. Terrence has been a player that's been here for a couple of years, and I love Terrence, and he's such a great kid, and he's also a great athlete. At times, he can really be incredibly influential on the court, on both ends of the floor. And so he's a kid that we really rely on. Jordan Anderson, came in super athletic, bouncy. You saw him tonight. He almost caught a 2-handed tip there. And he at times can just be explosive for 2-3 minutes. Still working on the consistency of what it means to be a great basketball player in all phases of the game. And giving that consistent effort on both ends and just having that discipline and being able to execute things. But a fantastic kid, really happy to have him. And then Mekeel, was with us as a freshman, moved to Atlanta and is back in the area. And Mekeel is super quick, athletic. He's really matured in the year that he was gone. But he's adjusting to becoming a point guard. He's always been a two guard. And that's a big adjustment. That's a hard adjustment to mix getting your own when you're a natural scorer and then having to evolve into a role where I have to set other people up. I have to use my speed to get by and then create for others. But he's also soaking everything up, and he's getting better literally every day.
Hey, Coach, did you anticipate that when you started this journey that it would be 500 wins later? And that's not even including the losses. So the combined games, not that you have a lot, but the combined games of playing being that many games, did you foresee that coming in?
No, and probably not. In high school in New York, we get, 20 games and 18 for a while. So I probably didn't think about that, and probably still don't think about it a lot. It just means that I'm really, really old.
Sound like Coach DeMel.
Yeah, really, yeah. And congratulations, right? I mean,
yes.
What a career he had. I don't know, it's not something you really think about. You think about trying to improve your team every day and giving them a great experience and something they can take with them.
Now, talk to me about one of the things that we pointed out during the sportscast was the aspect of foul trouble, being that you have a short bench. How do you teach those guys to kind of maintain their cool, knowing that, hey, guys, I need you on the court?
Well, last couple of years it's been that way. We had 8 a couple years ago, 8 last year, 7 this year. It is a real challenge. There are certain things that we just aren't able to do that I would like to do as a team that we can't. You can't do it with 7 kids. And so it really does bring focus on the fact that you have to be disciplined. And it's things that we still have to do better on that. You can't pick up cheap fouls. You cannot pick up early fouls. You have to be able to play in foul trouble. Right? There's certain things you can't do with 3 or 4 fouls that you can do with 1 or 2. In trying to get to the second half, that give yourself that freedom that you need to be an aggressive and effective defensive player.
I understand. Now, what would you say about your coaching style that has changed, if any, over the years? How would you characterize that in different steps?
You should ask a lot of the alumni and the old guys that were here. They come to practice, they can't believe it. And I think there's an evolving, as a maniac as a young coach, absolute maniac. And you have to evolve because kids change. They're not the same kids that we used to have, and they think differently. And just like the game of basketball evolves and changes, I think as coaches we have to evolve and change. Every year we're trying to fit stuff that works for our kids,
right? Not
fitting kids the stuff that this is what we do. Well, we have different kids this year, so I've had to adjust. Coaching my own kids was an adjustment. When you coach your own boys, that's a real adjustment. But then over the years, evolving and finding what's the most effective way to connect with these kids to help them accomplish things that even they don't know that they can do, especially collectively as a group. And ultimately that means I'm going to have to probably sacrifice individually for us to be great. That was more easily bought into 25 years ago than it is today.
Good point. So I want to last question. Can you differentiate a little bit about what those challenges are specifically? Would you say from just the last era to this era, in terms of dealing with the youth of today?
Well, I think one of the things too is there's so many opportunities now out there, which can be good and it can be bad for kids. There's a lot of distractions. The high school season 30 years ago was the thing. There was some other, but now there's so many different opportunities. And so that's one thing. Kids are more easily distracted now. And I think they're motivated by different motivations than they were in the past. Largely, I think, if you talk to any coach, parenting has changed in 30 years. I can tell you as an administrator of a school and as a coach. So that's a little bit different. And we're lucky here because we have great parents, really supportive. And so I just think being adaptive and understanding there's different ways that I can reach this kid. How can I get to this kid?
Yes.
And show him that I love him and I want to help him be great. But a season's tough and basketball's tough, and if we want to be great, we're probably going to go to some dark places at times.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it.
It does come with the territory.
And I think that was totally understood 30 years ago. Like, everybody got it.
Right.
There's more of letting them know that that's going to be part of it. And this is good for you. It's preparation for life, because life is hard and it's difficult. It's not about removing every barrier. It's about an obstacle. It's about how do we manage those, because they're going to come at us,
100%.
and not let them beat us down. Whether it's a game or you get into life, it's tough sometimes. If they cleared the way for you the whole time, then it hits you and you can't handle it. So I think that and getting tough kids. And, basketball, the game rewards toughness, so.
100%. Well, Coach, congratulations on your 500 win. Like Coach said earlier in the sportscast, you've always been gracious to us, always been very accommodating and welcoming. We want to say that we watch you over the years, and we saw what you do. I mean, we was talking to DJ Jones one year, and I go, you're the superior team. Why won't you play Mekeel man? And he goes, nah, man, the way Coach Bowman runs his sets, man, I'm going to go ahead and play zone, which is a testament to your acronym and what you're able to bring to the table. So for us, it's not by happenstance that here we stand with you with your 500 victory and moving forward. So congratulations to you. And like I said to Coach, it's about all of the fine young kids, the relationships, the coaches, the parents, all those things over the years that you've been able to be about, and appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys being here. They asked me actually out there, what do you really remember about it? It's the relationships with our players in the Mekeel community, but there's so many great people in Section 2, in NISFA, coaches that have become friends, officials that you get to know, and over the years you build up that trust and the relationships. You guys, people like you, people in Section 2, NISFA, there's just so many, it's the people at the end of the day.
100%.
And then for me, the opportunity to, through basketball, point our kids to God, that's the ultimate, for me, it's my ultimate motivation. Jesus is the first. I tell our kids, it's God, it's family, academics, and basketball. It's got to be in that order. That's high. Number 4 is really high.
Right.
It better be behind God, family, and your academics. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.